My name is Eric. I'm your friend and your teacher. What do I teach? I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't draw. The only way I have learned to express myself since I was a baby is to speak. Nobody ever taught me how to speak. I taught myself. And I find speaking is the fastest and cheapest way to happiness. English communication is both input and output. Listening and reading are inputs. Writing and speaking are outputs. When Chinese people learn English as the second language, we do a lot of input but very little output. And that's why we fail. I moved to Canada 12 years ago. And before that, I've learned English in China for 15 years through listening and reading. So when I got off the airplane, I thought I had so much English in me that I was ready to speak. When I opened my mouth, I thought English words would bubble up automatically just like that. And boy, was I wrong. It was at that moment when I tried to speak, I realized I didn't have any English in me. Zero, nada, nothing. And I was beginning to panic. You see, the idea of English communication is like the idea of music. I've heard music all my life. I think I know and understand music until I sit down in front of the piano and try to compose. Guess what? What comes out of the piano scares my cat. Now you're laughing at me. Eric, you're so naive. Listening to music and understanding it doesn't mean you can make music. Of course not. We all understand that. But isn't it the same thing with English communication? You have learned English in the past through listening and reading, but it's only temporary. It stays in your temporary memory. It's not your friend, because every time when you try to write and speak, it's not there for you. And eventually, the temporary English will be gone, just like you have never had it before. So temporary memory doesn't help you at all. In order to retain the temporary memory, you have to learn how to make it permanent. And that's where I can help. I will teach you one thing that is missing in your past learning, which is output, or actively using English to write and speak. Output is to make input stay. Make input sink in and register in your brain and become the permanent memory. So you have it as your permanent friend. And later on, when you need to write and speak, it will come back to you automatically. So natural, it's like breathing. So remember, English is tricky, and you have to use it to have it. The more you use it, the more you have it. And that's what I do. I will teach you how to do output, or actively use English to write and speak. I'm Eric. I'm your speech coach. I welcome you to come and try out our speech lesson. Let me ask you a serious question. Would you like to come in and walk out of this classroom a better person, more confident, more expressive, and more interesting? This is the course for you. I have taught many students, and every time when a new student walk into this classroom, I see them as a diamond in the rough, waiting to be polished. And I promise you, I will try really, really hard to get the best out of you. So when you get out of this classroom and going outside, you will realize all of a sudden people start paying attention to you and take your words more seriously. So I will see you in my class